Welcome back to episode 29 of DomsPod. I'm your host, Dom Armando, for this special report of DomsPod. I'm with my guest from episode 26, Sean Peters. Welcome back, man.
Thank you for having me back, Dom. Very, very happy to be here, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas as well. We got a lot to talk about, I gotta say, on this episode of DomsPod. And we got some new cameras for Christmas. So no longer of just this angle. We can go to 1, which is me talking. 2 is Shawnee. And 3 is original. Pretty cool. So a lot to talk about on this episode around the sports world. So let's get right into it with the New York Islanders.
6 p.m. tonight. We're both going to be there.
Yes.
UBS Arena versus the hated New York Rangers, as we like to call them, the Rags. I believe the last time the Islanders and Rangers played, it was a 5-0 thrashing. Islanders over the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. You remember that game?
I was at that game.
You were?
I was at that game.
With your dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately I was not, but very much looking forward to tonight.
So the Islanders are a team right now that struggled over the Rangers over the last 10 games, but they've started off the season very hot, shutting the Rangers out of the Garden. This is a Rangers team that's very struggling at home and have the fewest goals at home this season by far.
Now, I think they're getting Bo Horvat back.
Yes.
Which is huge. When he went down, they were on a pretty rough 1-2-1 streak before they won their last game in regulation.
Yes.
Who was that?
Pellick at the goal.
Pellick at the goal.
Holmstrom had the steal off of Markstrom.
Right. That was an amazing game. And so now that's momentum going into the holiday. This is a huge, interdivision rivalry game. I believe they only are separated by 2 points. At the moment,
crazy.
So the Islanders do have 2 games in hand. The Rangers have struggled this year, but not on the road. I believe they're like a 14-6 record on the road, one of the best in the league.
Yeah, with the Rangers, it's been a weird year, I should say. Usually you're good at home instead of playing on the road. The Rangers have been shut out probably at least 11 times this year, and it's not like a good team. This team is talking about maybe breaking it up entirely at the trade deadline. With I spoke about this on my earlier project, Trocheck being gone, Savanajag. There's talks about Panarin maybe going out.
They have a lot of contracts, long-term contracts currently with players over 30 years old. I don't think they've drafted very well over the last 5 years. Lafreniere, after a big contract year, got himself paid. All of a sudden, isn't getting the job done. So there's a lot of people not happy with the Rangers this year in their overall play. Though Shesterkin remains very solid in the net. JT Miller's going to be out, I believe.
I did not hear that, actually. About the Rangers, real quick. This is a team that's acting like their season's already done, but they're only 2 points out. Yeah. The mood is completely different between both teams. I mean, it's a Rangers team that is a very good defensive team. Their offense just can't get it going. And that's where the Islanders' defense has to shut down today, and it's got to be a big factor. And also, what I was going to say about the Islanders is, without Horvat, their shots have been tremendously low.
Correct.
So they went from maybe shooting 40 shots a game to maybe shooting 18, 22, 23. And with Horvat back, I would expect him to shoot the puck a lot tonight and feed him in the slot a lot.
I would agree. And I just want to say one thing about, because you mentioned Adam Pellick.
Yes.
And it was just brought to my attention.
He has 3 game-winning goals in his last 3 goals.
And not only that, he currently ranks in the NHL as the best defensive defenseman in hockey with 5-on-5. This has been a huge comeback year. I think he is he's leading candidate for the NHL Comeback Player of the Year, Adam Pellick.
If there was one. Is there? No, I don't think.
I think we should get one ourselves right now and name him the early favorite of our own.
I think Pellick and Pollock have been great. I love how they've been handling them. They struggled in the beginning of the year. They got it going. And now both those contracts look like tremendously great.
I would agree. It's going to be Schaefer teamed with D'Angelo.
Pollock.
Oh, Pollock. And then Pellick, D'Angelo?
Pellick, D'Angelo, and then Mayfield and Warren.
That's right. Warren's a Long Island kid.
He's been great. I have to tell you, he's been a great defenseman.
He's got a fantastic attitude. He's from Oyster Bay, I believe. Went to the Greenvale School, and it's a great local story. I think he played at BC.
He played at Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Okay, I'm wrong about that.
I was like, when I was looking at his Instagram bio, and he's from Michigan. I'm like, You went to Michigan hockey? That's incredible. They recruit a lot of kids from our area to play hockey, and definitely Massachusetts is like the #1 spot.
He's a great kid. It's a good story for Long Island, and I would expect. Let's go with predictions right now. Islanders Rangers 6 p.m. UBS Arena. Dom.
I'm going to start off with saying the Islanders are going to come out hot. They're going to score 2 goals quickly. The Rangers are going to answer with 1, and then the Islanders are going to blow it away and win this game 6-2. The final. It's going to be a very high scoring game.
I'm telling you right now, I was about to say 6-2 Islanders. I would take Islanders to the over. I'm done gambling on FanDuel. I've gotten killed this year. But if I was a gambling man, 6-2 Islanders. I think Bo Horvat gets 1. I think Shafe Daddy gets 2.
I'll bet you Shafe Daddy.
Yep. And I think Barzy gets 1 and JP Pajot.
I think there's going to be a defenseman scored. I think Tony DeAngelo gets on the board versus his former team. The team that boos him every time he touches the ice. I see Barzell getting 3 assists today.
I love it. We just need to make sure the Islander fans are loud because there's going to be a lot of Rags fans in the arena.
Oh, it's always though. Yeah. But is this going to be a Rangers team that's going to be rebuilding in 2 years? What do you think they're going to be?
I think they're going to be rebuilding next year. Let's real focus on Kyle this year. You got the Barzy jersey. I'm wearing my old Bailey jersey. This has been an unbelievable year. I think they're 20, 13, and 4 right now.
Yes.
They were the last ranked team in the league when they started this season 0-3. Remember, we thought this was going to be an absolute disaster of a year.
I think that, listen, I'm going to tell you now that the defense was absolutely the problem. It was absolutely the problem. And they fixed it. They did everything right. And it looks like Patrick Waugh saved his job this year.
Patrick Waugh and Darche, the GM,
they get along perfectly.
Instituted this up-tempo game where they're letting them skate. Now, they're giving up a lot of high scoring chances against them, but they've been bailed out by Sorokin a lot. The defense has stepped up and played better, but their up-tempo offensive game makes them much more fun to watch. And they've gotten, a lot of success so far. Watching Barzy and Matthew Schaefer on the ice at the same time, it's been. No one would have thought the Islanders, especially under Barry Trotz and their style of play the last 5-6 years, would all of a sudden turn around in 1 year and have one of the most fun teams in the league to watch.
My question is, though, do you think the Islanders are going to be big buyers at the deadline, or do you think they're going to be a team?
Did you see yesterday the rumor about Stamkos from Nashville?
I did not hear that.
Yeah, that was out there. I mean, I think Barry Trotz is on the hot seat, clearly, in Nashville.
He's going to be done after this year. He gave away 3 of the worst contracts in the NHL currently, ranked top 10. Brady Shea, who's been probably the worst defenseman, Jonathan Marchessault, and Steven Stamkos. None of those guys have been productive, and it looks like a complete disaster. And Brady Shea's getting paid, by the way, $7.3 million for like 6 years.
I would agree. And the Islanders, what I read, and I pray this is not true, is that the Islanders would potentially be willing to give up Keyshawn Atchison and some of their other young, recently drafted studs for a Stamkos, which would mean they're trying to go for it this year. Stamkos does have 15 goals, I think 9 assists, but he's 35 years old. I don't want to add him right now.
What I want to do, that draft pick we got from Colorado for Brock Nelson? I would send that away. I'm trading that because that's going to be at most maybe 31st, 30th, how good the Avalanche have been this year. So I think that you really need to trade that away and keep like Aitchison, Maggio, all the guys that I think actually have potential. Definitely don't throw in Cole Eiserman.
I would agree. And why don't we talk about really quickly the World Juniors, which is going on right now, and all the Islanders draftees who are in the were playing very well. Victor Eklund for Sweden, obviously. We have
had a goal.
We have Cole Eiserman, obviously. Keyshawn Atchison. Who else do we have playing there?
It's like the guy from the Czech Republic. It's like
Politin. Tomas Politin. They drafted him in the 4th round, and I'm just reading here.
Was it this year?
I don't know, but he was awarded Player of the Game for Team Czechia just yesterday. Amazing. So they've had a lot of draft success. Well, has to translate into the NHL. But, Cal Ritchie, came over as well in the trade, right? He's on the big squad already and contributing. I mean, this team is young and fun.
But my problem is, though, are you going to trade Pajot away after this year, or are you going to let him stay on the team? Because he's been having such a bounce back year from the last 2 years, Pajot, and it's really helped it. And losing Palmieri has been a very rough, but now he's paired with Richie now. They've been playing really well, I think.
Dom, I think we just wait and see what happens this year with the Islanders. Hopefully they make the playoffs and make a nice run. They can make a decision after the season on a bunch of their veteran players who are potential free agents. Okay.
I think that's pretty much it about the Islanders. Let's get into a team that's pretty much the opposite right now, the New York Mets.
I'm gonna let you start here.
I'm gonna put it on one. Look in the camera. The New York Mets, ever since trading for the Lindor trade, has been a success, but also been a failure at the same time. I'm gonna say it right now. But listen, you told me to be more debatable on this podcast. This is what I'm gonna be right now. The Lindor trade, the successes. This team went to the NLCS last year. Looked like Lindor was second in MVP voting, been one of the best defensive shortstops in all baseball. And this team looked like it was going in the right direction, signing Soto, all that stuff. But then, here's the negative. After this year, they broke up the entire team. And a big reason is, listen, I don't want to get into politics at all. This has been going around. Lindor and Nimmo having a fight over Trump. I mean, you can't have that in the locker room. I get it. But David Stearns needs to handle this problem better. Absolutely. And letting Alonso and all those guys go was not the right decision. I think you needed to settle this, like all this drama with all of them together and get it right. That's what I'm going to say.
I would totally agree. And it's up to the manager as well. Let's take politics out of this because it never should have entered the clubhouse.
Never.
People have different political beliefs, and you have to respect them. I am appalled at what happened, what Stearns and what Steve Cohen has allowed Stearns to do this offseason, because you're talking about the heart and soul of the team, Brandon Nimmo and Pete Alonso. Edwin Diaz, okay, let him go for a big number to the Dodgers, but Nimmo and Alonso, and they are not the reasons that this team didn't perform last year. It was clear. It was the pitching.
My problem is that there was something like we don't know that was really bad in the locker room, and that can't happen again. I'm going to say it right now, that can't happen, and this team needs to figure it out. And if they don't, clearly, if they're like this for the next 3 years,
I would agree. From everything I've read, and you can tell me what you think. Juan Soto just comes in and does his job every day, and keeps.
He's not the problem.
He's not the problem. Something is going on with Lindor, and don't forget,
Mr. Smile,
the team did not vote him captain.
No,
right? They didn't. So that says something, because he would clearly be the one that we would put as a favorite to be captain of the team. They didn't vote him as captain. There must be a lack of respect for Lindor in the locker room. Letting McNeil go, I have no problem with that. I'm sure you agree.
I'm gonna be on that page as well, and I'm gonna say that was probably the right decision at this point. I mean, the dude was struggling defensively really badly. Hitting wise wasn't great. It was time for a change and get younger on second base.
Well, Stearns is on the hot seat right now, Dom, because the fan base right now is had it.
His seat is scorching hot. And another guy whose seat is also scorching hot, Mendoza. I'm going to put it like that. Carlos Mendoza's seat is burning hot. If this team starts 5 games below 500, he's out. I'm going to say that right now. He's that close to being fired.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be. I feel like it's going to be an ugly season. This offseason could not be going worse. And most importantly, the fan base, after having one of the most exciting teams in baseball just 2 years ago,
is all against David Stearns.
Yeah.
David Stearns was like, when he came in, everyone was respecting him. He was a diehard Met fan growing up. Now, now they want his head taken off.
I will say this, though. New Yorkers love a winner. If somehow, some way, he puts this team together, gets some more players, maybe he gets Bellinger, a few others that are available out there, and this team suddenly turns around and becomes a winner, all will be forgotten. So we're saying right now it's a terrible offseason. People have a lot of affinity for Nimmo and Alonso, original Mets. But if this team starts to win and somehow Stearns puts a team together that gels, all will be forgotten, as you know.
I'm going to say this right now. If they resign, if they kept Nimmo and Alonso, just those two guys, let Diaz walk, this team we would have a different conversation right now. I don't like the Nimmo trade at all. Agree with me on that with Marcus Semien.
Listen, Marcus Semien is a fantastic Gold Glove second baseman. He's older in his career, though, right?
Yes, very.
I think he's going to be a good clubhouse guy. He's a true professional. He's got a big contract. But Brandon Nimmo for Semien, I don't know. I just don't get it. I know it's a very steady bat with Nimmo. I think his fielding was okay.
What I would have traded was I would have traded Acuna. I would have. Really? I'm gonna be honest with you. If you wanted Marcus Semien that bad, you trade Acuna and maybe another prospect that's not going to work out. That's my opinion on that. And maybe trade Jeff McNeil to Texas. That's what they should have done. That's my opinion on that.
Well, one thing's for sure. There's chaos in Metland right now, and huge pressure on management right now to produce a winner going to next season, because they were one of the favorites in the major leagues last year to make the playoffs and make a deep run. Their disappointment stemmed mostly from the pitching staff, I think, and clearly something in the locker room, which we discussed. So let's just see what happens. But Stearns has a huge job. You want to close it up on the Mets stuff?
I just wanted to add something. Actually, I'm actually a big fan of Dave Peterson. Mm-hmm. Is that me, or is that just? No, I don't think he's the problem. I don't think Sean Manaea wasn't not productive at all last year.
You want to talk about the pitching staff, because I think you might have a
absolutely. I really want to talk about the pitching staff. Do we agree with that trading Kodai Senga? What do you think we should have dealt at him?
I think it's up in the air right now. I think he needs a bounce back season. I think he is a huge talent. He was a massive disappointment. I think he's a competitive guy, and the pressure's on him too. I like the fact they kept him, and I'm looking for him to have a bounce back year.
Manaea, I think that with the Mets, obviously, Sean Manaea needs to be a little more productive. David Peterson needs to step up a little bit this year and not. Well, I'm not going to put David Peterson in a hole. I'm going to say his defense wasn't great. I'm going to put it like that. On the second thing, though, you can't give up as many hits and walks that David Peterson gave up at the end of the year.
No. Peterson is just like, he needs to step up too. The problem was pitching. Now, I understand the Mets are among the very few teams who have met with free agent starting pitcher Framber Valdez.
They were in on him.
Yeah, this just popped up in the last couple of days. The Giants and Orioles have also met with Valdez. We know that Stearns does not like long-term deals for position players, but he has been willing to do it for pitchers.
I want to go back to Alonso. Not even offering Alonso or Diaz what their asking price was ridiculous to me.
I think it was awful. I mean, I actually want to get off the Alonso Nimmo thing because it's so upsetting to both of us and to all real Met fans. These were OG, performing fan favorites, heart and soul of the team, and he let them go. And
it's going to be emotional when they come back.
It's going to be, and if Lindor, if it turns out that Mike Francesa, got to give him some credit. He was the first one that said that politics was was what divided this Mets team.
My grandpa actually hates him. He's not a guy that likes him.
Francesa,
because he thinks he spreads a lot of fake rumors and all that stuff. But apparently, this is a rumor that really played a big factor in the locker room. Clearly.
There's no question at all. I think the Mets are going to have some huge free agent signings. I think Bellinger is going to be a Met. I think he has to be. Stearns has got to make some splashes. So I'd say one big pitcher, maybe it's going to be Valdez, and then Bellinger, the two that I predict.
Who are you going to put up first, though?
I don't know. What do you think?
We're going to put Polanco.
Because they got Polanco to play first base.
I can't believe that at all. I'm going to be honest with you. this team right now is going to be atrocious next year.
Okay.
Atrocious. They're going to win 60 games, ladies and gentlemen. 60 games.
Well, if that's the case, you know that Steve Cohen's going to blow the whole thing up. Everyone's gone. He's going to start from scratch.
Yes.
Do you want to mention the Yankees quickly? I know neither of us are big Yankee fans. The complaints coming from the Yankee fans has been associated with Hal Steinbrenner not wanting to open up his checkbook.
I'm going to be honest with you. What they're doing right now is the right thing. They're preparing for a salary cap when it comes to place.
Okay.
Because you don't know when this thing is going to happen in the lockdown. If Dodgers win it next year, the MLB is going right into a lockdown. And they're going to add a salary cap as soon as possible. And I don't think the Yankees need a lot, to be honest with you. Their situation is perfect. I get it. They can use maybe, I get it. People hate on Anthony Volpe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Anthony Volpe believer.
Why would you say that, Dom?
Why would I say
Honestly,
that?
Why would you say that?
Because the guy gets so much hate and goes through a lot in his mind, and he just makes terrible plays when it comes to. But when he is,
his bat came alive a bit. His glove is horrible.
He needs to work on that.
And he was one of the worst position players in the major leagues last year. A shortstop for the New York Yankees.
They'll be totally fine. This team right now is a team that you'll see win a championship in 3 years.
I know that Aaron Judge is pushing very, very hard to get Cody Bellinger back on this team.
But the problem is, though, he wants to wait for Kyle Tucker to sign.
Yeah. This team's going to pay Ryan McMahon, DJ LeMahieu, and Trent Grisham $54 million in 2020.
Ryan McMahon's a great third baseman. They got McMahon. They got Volpe at shortstop, which second base. Who's their second baseman? I'm blanking.
Not Nick Torres. No, they just signed Nick Torres.
First base and second. I mean, they have the guy Spencer Jones, who's going to be a great outfielder. Aaron Judge. And they have Trent Grisham. Fine outfield, if you're asking me. And they're pitching. Have you seen their pitching rotation?
They got Garrett Cole coming back, right?
Garrett Cole coming back. Max Fried. Yeah, Cam Schlittler, who was fantastic in the playoffs for them. And
Carlos Rodon?
Rodon?
Yeah, Rodon.
I think Will Warren, too.
Who is the guy? Tatsuya Imai? It's Japanese
Yeah.
guy?
He has to be they're saying he has to sign by January 7th.
Yeah, I understand there's a very good chance they get him, though, right?
The Yankees are out on him, I heard.
Really?
Yeah. I think he goes to, I'm going to be honest, I feel like he goes to the Dodgers, in my opinion.
You want to talk about the Dodgers and how they're potentially ruining baseball? I mean, you just alluded to the fact that there could be a lockout or, in the major leagues and a potential salary cap. What are the Dodgers doing to Major League Baseball now?
They're deferring money, and it's BS at this point. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's just getting to a point where you need to stop. It's not even fun to, like, when you want to watch a team that's payrolls over probably without the deferred money $1 billion versus a team who's only paying $60 million in the Marlins.
Yep. I'll tell you, there's nobody outside of New York who wasn't rooting for the Blue Jays. I'm sorry, outside of LA, who wasn't rooting for the Blue Jays in the World Series. That was a great story, a gritty blue-collar team. They finished in last place the season before. They made a dramatic run, and I thought deserved it. You know, it could have gone either way. It was a very, very close series, and one of the best series.
Best game sevens of all time. One of the best game sevens.
No question, Dom. No question. And a lot of pure baseball fans became Blue Jays fans after watching this team last year.
Now, I feel like that series might have changed baseball. I'm going to be honest with you. If the only thing I have a problem with baseball, honestly, what they had just added was with the pitching thing, like so you can hit the beat.
Right.
I really like that a lot, in my opinion. But the way that they limited it in the All-Star game last year, if you watched it, I'm not sure if you did, they had 2 challenges per inning on it, and it takes like 30 seconds just to look at it.
It takes too long. It's inefficient. It makes fans get look away. It gets boring. I totally agree with you. I think the fact that in extra innings it starts with a man on second. Terrible. Take that out.
They should, but does it make the game go longer though? What does it do?
It's clearly why they're doing it.
There was a swing. So something I saw was there was a swing off, and where you pick 3 guys, you get 3 chances at hitting a home run, and it adds up to the score.
You're joking right now.
It was so fun to watch in the All-Star game.
They're not doing that in the regular season, Dom. There's no way.
But you're telling me if it's like the 17th inning in a game like that,
I don't think that's going to happen. The fact that they have the pitchers on account right now, and I don't think we're going to see 17 inning games. I think these games are going pretty quick.
They need what I think they need to do is get rid of the ghost runner at the onset.
Yeah, it's not pure baseball.
Remember when they had 7-inning doubleheaders back during COVID?
Yes, that's something to think about, right? I consider that
a rain delay.
Yeah,
you would put that back.
I don't know, a doubleheader. Give fans. I know that the owners don't want to give fans 2 games for 1 ticket, but
it's not even a bad idea, honestly. Tickets are cheap nowadays to go to a random regular season baseball game.
Maybe up in the bleachers, it's still on a relative value basis a good value for professional sports. Everything's gotten out of control. Can you believe? I'm going to change the subject here briefly. Can you believe the New York Jets are raising ticket prices next year?
Are you serious? Yeah. I didn't even see that.
Yes.
Well,
you're speechless. The worst product in professional sports brought to you.
Well, does this tell
the New York Jets?
But I have to ask you a question. Does this mean they're going all in on the deadline? I meant free agency and spending big? Or does this mean that...
Well, they have a monstrous amount of draft picks, right? And the question now is...
Okay, Mendoza. I'm telling you right now, I get it that the Giants and Raiders are have the Tank Bowl. Have you seen that?
Yes.
The Giants, you better root for the Giants, my friend, for a Jet fan, because the Giants are trading that pick. 1,000,000%. Well,
the only good thing that's happened this year for the New York Jets is that trade Sauce Gardner to the
That
Colts.
was a great trade.
That's worked out well because the Colts have fallen apart. That first-round pick has now turned into a very strong pick. So
you better hope the Texans actually play right in an hour versus the Chargers in a big game. You better hope the Colts miss the playoffs for Jet fans.
I think the Jets have so many holes, and I know the 2 most important things on an NFL team are the coach and the quarterback.
Aaron Glenn sucks.
I think they have a real problem with the head coach. He's clearly not ready for prime time.
He's clueless.
He was a strong defensive coordinator on Detroit. He signed a horrific defensive coordinator who he had to let go just 2 weeks ago.
How good was he with San Fran, though? Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
And the team just got, ever since that he went to the Jets, he's been dog.
I'm a lifelong Jet fan. I'm starting to believe, the haters that say this team is cursed. I was at the last New York Jets playoff game, January, I believe it was, 2011, the AFC Championship game at Pittsburgh. That was the last playoff game for the New York Jets. Talking about
That's so sad.
It's sad.
Wait, what was the date on that?
I don't know the exact date. I believe it was late January 2011. It was the AFC Championship game.
I was 1 year old.
You were 1 year old.
And I'm 15, and I'm in high school. And that's how long it's been since.
So an entire generation of fans have grown up with a team that can't even make the playoffs. That team had Mark Sanchez, Nick Mangold, rest in peace. They had an unbelievable offensive line. Santonio Holmes, a wide receiver, Jericho Cotchery. I mean, they were a team full of stars. Thomas Jones at running back.
When was Curtis Martin? Because I didn't grow up with him.
My favorite Martin. He retired a few years before that.
Okay.
Yeah. And, remember they went on a run as Sanchez's first 2 years in the league.
They beat the Patriots in Colts that year.
Yes.
They beat Peyton. Was that Peyton? They beat Peyton and
correct.
Tom Brady.
Yes. And they beat Tom Brady and the Patriots at New England in that playoff game. They had lost a game at New England earlier that season that I was at, of course, 45-3, where we got basically assaulted by Patriots fans, my friends and I. No idea why we even went there. I said, there's no way I'm going back for this playoff game. And back then, I had very young kids, and I used to be able to travel a little bit easier to go to Jets games. And it was a lot of fun, but I said, there's no way I'm going to Foxborough for that game.
Have you been to MetLife at all?
It's one of the worst experiences in sports.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
Yeah,
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think, listen, you want me to tell you what I would do as a Jets owner?
Tell me.
First
sell
of all,
the team?
If Woody how nice would it be, though, if Woody Johnson sold the team right now to Steve Cohen?
Well, not that we're big fans of Steve Cohen right now, what's going on with the Mets, but I would say sell the team to Steve Cohen, move them back to Queens, build a stadium across from Citi Field.
But is it going to be a big stadium, though, to hold a lot of Jet fans?
60,000?
Yeah, it would work.
This is pie in the sky. I mean, we're like, this is just dreaming right now, but like, I would love for him to do it.
But the problem is, though, you got to have like New York to like approve it, all that stuff.
Well, I think New York would jump through a lot of hoops to make that happen. You know, Bloomberg tried very hard to move the Jets to a stadium on the west side of Manhattan. It got stopped by a local politician who represented the Madison Square Garden district, and the Dolans did not want a stadium going up on the west side, which would have taken a lot of revenue opportunity from them, from concerts and et cetera. And that was a real sad thing for New York and for Jet fans in particular, because the Long Island and Queens fan base for the Jets has to go out to East Rutherford. Do you know what it's like trying to drive back from a Jets or a Giants game back to back?
Do you want me to explain to you what you should do whenever you go to a Jet game? You don't leave directly. You stay there you maybe tailgate after the end of the game for a little bit.
Dom, people have lives. People have kids. People have to get back home.
I know, but I'm saying like that's the way to go.
Woody Johnson, if you're listening to this podcast, sell the team, please. Just have an epiphany. Wake up one morning and just say, I'm selling this squad to Steve Cohen. He's going to pay me top dollar.
I like the GM. I have to be honest, though. I like the GM of the Jets guy.
So far, I think he's made some decent moves with it. It's got an absolutely barren roster.
The only move I don't like is a Justin Fields.
That was awful. And let's not forget, Aaron Rodgers destroyed this team.
Well, that's what said. And when his return to MetLife Stadium was a complete disaster.
It's a complete shit show.
Did you hear what happened with the Long Island soccer coach about the kicking?
This is another embarrassment of the franchise. Now they're coming back and they're letting this young lady potentially make a field goal for $100,000. Her father, who passed away, was a massive Jets fan, and in his honor, she wants to try to kick this field goal for $100,000. And the Jets approached her at one of those pre-game kind of fun things they have where people kick field goals.
Yes.
She said sure. She told them she was a college coach. And they said, fine, you can still go on the field and try it. And then they pulled it. And if it wasn't for the New York Post putting that story out and embarrassing the team, they wouldn't have come back and now given her a chance to make a field goal. So another embarrassing situation for the Jets in a season and a decade plus of embarrassments. I can't believe the Mets are actually about to join the Jets as another team of mine that I root for in the doldrums of sports.
What can I say?
St. John's Red Storm?
I mean, they blew it, too. They're out of the top 25.
They were ranked 5th preseason. They're now, I believe, 8-4. They don't have a point guard. Rick Pitino admitted himself they didn't recruit a point guard. It's going to Ian Jackson. The whole team this season is on the back of Ian Jackson if he can convert into a productive point guard, and we'll have to wait and see. I think they should go with their big men right now.
You think they're going to still make it though in the NCAA tournament?
I think that they're a very, very talented team. They're a deep roster, and I think Coach Pitino is a Hall of Fame coach, probably the best coach right now after Danny Hurley. He and Danny Hurley are two of the top two coaches in the country, both in the Big East. He's got a big job ahead of him, Coach Pitino, the rest of the season.
What can I say about this team? By the way, Shawnee, do you mind just talking a little closer to the
mic? No problem.
I mean, is New York really down this bad? My question is, though.
Overall, for sports?
Yes.
We got the Islanders.
We don't have the Mets. We don't have the Jets, the Giants. Okay, the Giants are going to look good next year. Do you agree with me on that?
What's your basis for that opinion? Because I do not agree.
Do you want me to give you my take on them?
Sure.
They are very young. They have actually an owner, Johnny, that wants to win and doesn't care about the money and showing off to people. He wants a team that can win a Super Bowl. And they did an sensational job in the draft last year. I get it. Abdul Carter hasn't been great. Fine. It's his first year. You have to get the right coach, though.
They need the right coach.
I've hated Joe Schoen for so many years. You watched? Did you ever watch? What's it called?
Of course, the HBO show.
HBO show of
New York Giants
off season. I'm not sure what it is.
It was awful. Letting Saquon go.
Did you see the video of his son telling him what to pick?
Yes.
Jaden Daniels.
He told him to take him. He said, "Dad, you only get one shot at this. Get Jaden Daniels." Well, that said, Jackson Dart is clearly a winner. He did a lot better on the Daboll as coach. It looks to me
they need the coach. What I'm going to tell you right now, they need to hire Daboll as an OC.
That would never happen, Tom. They just fired him as head coach. Are you out of your mind?
I think they should have.
There's no chance that happens. They're clearly not going to allow Jackson Dart to get another concussion before year end. He's basically just handing the ball off.
Why can't they just?
They're taking.
Sit him and start Russell Wilson.
That's probably what they should do. Because I think they're hurting Jackson Dart's development and his confidence, having him just hand the ball off. It's embarrassing. It's another embarrassing team in New York or New Jersey with the Giants and Jets.
But how about I'm going to say, I don't think the Jets are. I think the Raiders are more miserable in the last 20 years than the Jets. I'm going to say that now. They've made the playoffs once out of the last 20 years.
That's true. Although the Raiders did make a Super Bowl, I believe, in 2003.
Ever since then.
With Rich Gannon. But then their Hall of Fame, their Pro Bowl center went bonkers and he got lost in Mexico. Did you know that?
I did not hear
before that game, yeah. And they lost that Super Bowl, I think, to the Buccaneers. And
I can name almost every single Super Bowl winner.
I would say go for it.
You want me in order?
As many as you can.
All right, you can pull up the list if you want. Let's go. Green Bay won the first one. Green Bay won the second one as well. Jets won the third one. Chiefs won the fourth one. So I got the first five. I know the Vikings lost a bunch of Super Bowls during this time. So we're in the 70s right now. I think did the Steelers win after the Chiefs? I think they might have.
This is your area of expertise. I don't know all these Super Bowl winners.
The Steelers won back-to-back, I know, in the 70s. Dallas won back-to-back in the 70s. The Raiders won.
The Steelers went 4 altogether?
In the 70s,
Terry
yes.
Bradshaw, yeah.
Is he not the most underrated QB of all time?
Terry Bradshaw?
I think he's one of the most underrated.
Yeah, his stats might not be there necessarily, but the guy's a winner.
My dad says this: does championships affect on being the greatest of all time?
It has to.
But are we talking for the NBA? I know you don't know a lot about basketball, but Bill Russell.
What are you talking about? My favorite team of all time is his early '90s Knicks.
Really?
Yes, Patrick Ewing, Hall of Famer. Never won. He got Michael Jordan, right? Just like the Utah Jazz and John Stockton and Karl Malone.
How fun was it to watch the NBA in the 90s?
It was way better. And Pat Riley, as coach of the New York Knicks, he put together basically what he had was a bunch of bruisers and Patrick Ewing as a superstar, and they almost won the whole thing 2 or 3 times. Michael, the one chance they had in the finals
was Houston. They played Houston.
They played Houston. Hakeem Olajuwon. He was unbelievable. But I'll tell you, if Starks had made that, Starks had a 3-pointer at the end of Game 6 to win it. He missed it, or got blocked by Olajuwon, I believe, and then he ended up shooting 3 for 18 in the Game 7 in the '94 NBA Finals. And don't forget they did get back to the finals a few years later with Marcus Camby, right? And they lost to the Spurs.
I don't know much about the NBA, but I'm going to be honest with you, though. Do you think the Knicks have a chance of winning it this year?
I do. Let's talk about the Knicks this year. Unbelievable
team.
Tibbs is getting a hard time from a lot of longtime Knicks fans.
Tom Thibodeau?
Yes, because what happens with Tibbs, he would never play anyone except his starting five and a few others. And this kid, Tyler Kolek, has taken New York and the NBA by storm. Highest individual plus minus in the NBA over each play of the last 8 games. Tyler Kolek at a plus 94.
That's from Twitter, my friend.
Pardon me. The kid's been unbelievable. Adam Marquette. He is, I have been more of a St. John's fan than a Knicks fan just because of and we can talk about what LeBron James has done to the NBA and how the NBA is not putting out as good a product
as
it used to.
You hate LeBron. You can say whatever you want on this podcast.
I understand that. I think hate's a very strong word. I try not to use hate except for some very, specific people. But I disliked LeBron James immensely for a variety of reasons, but none more than what he's done to the NBA.
I've never hated him more.
So you're not afraid to use the word hate?
Not at all. When it comes at the right time, though.
Yeah.
If we're talking about a person that I've never met and I just look at
he needs to retire. He's destroying the Lakers franchise. He's got his son Bronny on the team who doesn't deserve to be there. He doesn't play defense. He flops constantly and complains to the refs. Look, you're one of the best players of all time. Retire. It's over.
The NBA is a joke ever since. I think here's what I would do to fix it. You make 10. You shorten the quarters, and you make the refs call less fouls. Keep the game going as soon as possible. Let it go back and forth, and make the timeouts less. Do 4 timeouts for each team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the players don't want to play back-to-back games during the regular season. From what I'm reading. I don't see them grinding and playing defense in the regular season.
And get rid of the NBA Cup. I think that's
way too the 3-pointers. I know Steph Curry has changed the game, and
I like that way though. I love him.
But what we're seeing is we're not seeing pick and rolls. We're not seeing classic basketball. We're seeing one-on-one matchups, long 3-pointers, not a lot of defense, run and gun. These players are not grinding. The playoffs get more exciting, obviously, but the NBA is not putting out a strong product, and I think LeBron James and Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, are largely to blame for that.
And this is a good question. So I like to bring up new questions every podcast. Out of the 4 major sports, 1, 2, 3, 4, rank them based off the playoffs. How fun it is to watch.
NHL.
NHL 1?
NHL 1. I will say Major League Baseball.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
It can get tedious in the regular season. A very long regular season. The Major League Baseball's done a great job getting these games to move along and not be 3 and 4 hour affairs. But I will say it's a very long regular season in Major League Baseball. The playoffs are another story.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Think about our poor Mets 2 years ago, how much fun that run was.
I've never cheered over a moment. Well,
talking about Alonso's home run.
Well, there's 2 moments that stand out to me in my life. Number 1, the Anthony Borreglia game 6 goal. I wasn't there. That was the only Islander game playoff game I didn't go to. How loud I cheered for that. I still think I actually cry sometimes. How much
I was there with my wife, and let's not forget who got the primary assist in that goal. None other than Josh Bailey.
It was
it
was Blake Coleman.
No, he pinched along the boards.
Oh,
Bailey did. Maybe it was a secondary assist. He pinched along the boards, prevented the puck from being cleared, and it went on. We should pull up that goal. Want to pull up that goal and find out exactly what happened with it?
I don't know if let me see if I can. I think the sound will go on it, but it will be fine. But yeah,
those Barry Trotz teams were extremely entertaining. I know it was a different style than this year's Islanders, but it was defensive in nature. But man, did they give us a good show those 2 years?
This is bad. But let's talk about while I'm waiting. Oh, here we go. Just gave it right to him.
It was Bill. It was Bill, wasn't it?
No. but they're not going to count it because Coleman gave it right to it.
Yeah. But Bailey
pinched it, and then Coleman took it from him, and then still nothing beats them. You have to admit, though,
and I do miss Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, the barn.
What do you do? My question is now, what do you do with that place?
UBS Arena?
No, the barn.
Well, thank God it's not going to be a casino, because that would bring just a bunch of scuzzbags to that area. We do not want a casino there. I have no idea. I think you probably knock it down.
You really?
What do you think you're going to do? I used to go see Disney on Ice with my daughters. But it's not a great neighborhood.
Bring the Bridgeport Islanders there.
Wow, I never thought of that. No, they would never do that, because it would take fans. Fans would go to Bridgeport games instead of Islander games.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's no way they would do that. There's no way they would do that, because it would end up taking fans from Islander games.
What about make a Hofstra Pride hockey
team?
It's
too close. It's too... Hofstra playing that? No, just stop. Stop. They need to knock it down. If they're not, if Charles Wang had gotten...
Is he good? Was he good on Charles Wang?
He saved the team.
He did?
He saved the team. They were going to go to Quebec. They were going to lose the franchise. And Charles Wang stepped in and prevented that from happening.
Well, who was the guy? Mike Milbury destroyed the team.
Milbury was the GM and then coach. He did not have a great run there.
You hated him?
No, I didn't hate him. He was a gamer. But, there were some tough draft picks. They had a couple teams in the early 90s that were a lot of fun. But overall, look, I'm positive on the Islanders. I love what they're doing right now. I don't want to talk, in a perfect world, they would have rebuilt the stadium where the Nassau Coliseum is, maybe redone it or put a new arena in there, because it was a much better place for fans to get to and congregate. Don't forget how much fun it was tailgating at the Coliseum. We can't really
funnest time of my life. Best time tailgating was at Nassau Coliseum, and nothing beats that environment, and nothing beats how loud the barn was that last year there.
Yeah, the way the fans are on top of the ice, they could never recreate that.
What I think they should have done the year that they were transitioning into UBS, they should have did half at Nassau, like what they did with Barclays, kind of. Thank God we don't have to go to Barclays. Oh my God, how bad was that?
That was a huge mistake. We almost lost the franchise there, I think. Look, the Coliseum was special, but let's not forget, if you need to use the restroom, it would take you half a period to kind of wait online, get back. It was a disaster.
I loved it though.
Yeah,
it gets you. You don't understand though. I get it. It's annoying though. It's UBS is so much better. It's a better stadium overall, but the environment. I got interviewed by News 12 one time.
You did? Yeah, show me that.
I don't think it's out there, but we got to say let's go Islanders.
The fact that they were able to go back to the barn, which no one expected them to do it while UBS Arena was being completed.
So what did they?
And they went on those playoff runs. Unforgettable.
So my question is, because I wasn't big into hockey during when the Barclays stuff and all that stuff.
Wow. So now here it is. You've been to over 100 Islander games.
I'm gonna be
so
honest.
how many games do you average a year?
I average a year. Probably 30.
Oh.
So, I'm going to be honest with you. I grew up like the Islanders. I did. Like, you know how you're young, you don't get into sports really that well for a couple of years.
It takes you a little while to figure out what sports you're going to follow, which sports you'd like to play, right?
Hockey hit me when I was you're going to actually like this because I know you're a big fan of this guy. You have his jersey on right now. Game 1. Pittsburgh. First ever Islanders playoff game.
One of the best goals in Islander history. Barzal with a miss. Barzal maybe hit the post, or like Barzal almost scored, and then Bailey with a follow. I was there at that game as well. Were you there?
I was indeed. What that got me into hockey.
Yeah, incredible. And the fact that was that the year that they went to Game 7 versus Tampa Bay? Was it
no, they got swept out to Carolina.
Oh yeah, Carolina. Carolina always crushes them. It was the following year that they went to Game 7 against Tampa Bay.
No, that was the bubble year. It went so it goes that year to the bubble. The bubble year was so fun to watch in the summer though. You have to admit.
Yes, in the middle of COVID, we had nothing else going on to be able to watch hockey.
And you could literally have I don't mean to say this, you could literally have a beer and just sit home and watch playoff hockey during the summer.
It was the best. It was the best. Those were very, very fun Islander teams. Trotz's teams, super competitive. They made 2 memorable playoff runs. The one game.
But why did Barry leave after they?
I think it was over a contract. Everybody was very surprised when
I heard something he wanted to live in Nashville, because like his son has like Down syndrome.
Yeah, did you met his son? They lived in Garden City, right?
Yeah, I've met him. I went to his house.
Those are really good people.
Very good, very, very nice people,
Yeah.
and they were very well respected when we went in there.
I think he was going to Nashville for a boatload of money and a long-term contract, and he was just.
He wanted to be a GM.
He was looking at things that way.
But my question is, though, do you bring him back in like the front office if he ever wants to come back to Long Island?
I mean, you consider it just because he's a beloved guy, but I mean, they have their guy in Darche, and I think
I agree with you on that.
Darche and Waugh, and I didn't know if Waugh was going to make it. If they,
I thought Waugh was going to be fine.
He was going to be on the hot seat if they didn't have a good season. This has been one of the most.
They fixed that entire front office
quickly.
John Collins, great job, unbelievable job. And how long has he been there with the franchise for? A long time.
Long time. I think over 20 years.
Is he like a co-owner, or is he?
I think he might be a minority owner, but I don't know exactly.
Does Ledecky own? My question is, does Ledecky own like a majority of the amount of the team?
No. It's the other guy who does. His name escapes me, but and then there's another guy, Oliver Harmon, who bought 10% of the team.
Yes, you told me. I remember.
And he's the one who's dating Reese Witherspoon, and he's been bringing her to games, which has been only helping the team's marketing.
Really?
Yeah, massively. Because she's like an A-lister with like 30 million Instagram followers.
Now let's get back. I want to talk a little bit about the Islanders, and I want to get into my football predictions for this week.
Then we got to wrap it up.
Yes.
I got to go home, pick up the girls, and we got to get to the game.
Oh yeah. Shoot.
We have a 6:00 game today.
So weird, by the way. What was I gonna say about the ticket? How bad are the Islanders at selling tickets?
Well, it speaks to what we just talked about with the Nassau Coliseum and the fact that they had parking. There's no parking right now at UBS Arena. I know the ownership has addressed this and said it's one of the main things they're going to focus on fixing is the parking situation. A lot of it has to do with the construction that's going on with Belmont.
Well, what do you do with it, though? My question is.
They need to expand it. They need to find more parking. They need to make it more accessible to fans. And unfortunately, if you live in Suffolk County and you've been an Islander fan your whole life, that's quite a drive into Elmont. And
it's such a weird area.
It's on the Queens border. It's not optimal for fans who have to drive in from Suffolk County, but you have to admit, the arena is spectacular. Great
arena. They did a great job building it.
All right, let's move to the NFL because then we got to get going for this 6:00 game.
So, the playoffs, let's talk about that. A lot of teams clinched. We saw the Lions having 6 turnovers on Christmas Day. The Chiefs falling apart, as you love to see that, my friend. I know that well.
Couldn't have been happier.
Really? I mean, are you happy that Kelsey's going to be gone?
Yes, not a Kelsey fan, not a Taylor Swift fan. I think the guy is a fraud. Obviously, a great tight end, going to make the Hall of Fame. Not a fan.
I still respect the guy, though, even though he's dating a model, a girl that
has nothing to do with why I don't like. I think I hope they find happiness together. I know he's a Hall of Fame tight end. I just think the guy is a bit of a jerk. I'll say.
Do you think he voted for? I don't mean to bring in politics for this. Do you think he voted for Kamala because of his wife?
Or his fiance. I have no idea. But I did not like or respect the fact that he got paid $20 million from Pfizer to do commercials for the COVID vaccine. And I did not. Oh yeah, that's really. We don't need to go into that topic, but that's really why I don't like Travis Kelce.
Okay, so
predictions.
Listen, the playoffs have from the last couple of weeks to now has completely changed. We are now seeing the Buccaneers, a team that we were talking about, maybe Super Bowl contenders at one point, now not even winning the division and missing the playoffs. They and the Panthers has been one of the most fun things to watch. Do you think the Panthers are going to clinch, or do you think the Buccaneers are going to find a way and sneak in?
I'm rooting for the Bucs to sneak in. That's my heart. I do think the Panthers are going to run away with it, though. I think they're a team of destiny right now.
The Buccaneers can be eliminated. The Panthers can clinch with a win and a Buccaneers loss this week versus Miami, which I doubt will happen. And then Tampa Bay really just can't lose this game. Well, the Panthers have a very tough opponent, remember. They play the Seattle Seahawks. And the Panthers are going to take on the Buccaneers in the final week of the regular season, setting up a win-and-in situation for that. And can I be honest with you? I love when I see those games. On like Sunday night prime time, like winning you're in, you school the next day, for example, it gets my hopes up.
Those games are always fun to watch. Oh, you want to finish our top 4 playoff? Because we got off track. We said hockey, Major League Baseball,
the NFL.
I'll give it to the NFL third.
I'm going to put a landslide, the NBA.
I would put the college tournament ahead of the NBA, clearly. March Madness.
If we were talking,
if you had to go,
I think March Madness.
March Madness
is the best. It's the best thing. It's so good.
As the NHL playoffs. So, but yes, I'll put the NBA dead last easily.
Okay, let's get back to it. The Steelers. I want to talk about this real quick as we're going to go into the playoffs. Do you think if they don't win a playoff game this year, Mike Tomlin is gone?
Tomlin will be gone. Rodgers will be gone. They will blow it up and start over.
No question. This was only a 1-year deal.
I think if Rodgers doesn't win, he's going to retire. I think the Carolina Panthers with Bryce Young and Rico Dowdle are going to be the team to beat in the playoffs this year.
Really? You think the Panthers are going to be the team to beat?
I do.
I think Philly loses in the first round.
This is not Philly's year. Clearly, there's something going on. They have like the New York Mets syndrome in their locker room. There's players not getting along in Philly. I don't respect that coach very much. I think Philly's gone, and my team is Carolina this year. I think they're going to run away with it.
Well, they got a very tough matchup ahead of them if they play in the first round, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, and the 49ers and their tight end, their defense, surely they do. The fact that Robert Saleh is their defensive coordinator is going to make me root extra hard for Carolina.
You really love Robert Saleh, do you? And you disagree with them firing him?
I wasn't a big Saleh fan. I think he wasn't doing a great job, but they were in way better position than what they've been in since they fired him. Look, the Jets were a complete disaster in every way, shape, and form. They can't make a good move from the front office down to coaching. So I don't blame anyone who ends up going there and not doing well because I think the team might just be cursed.
How about let's talk about the top 3 in the AFC conference right now? I would have never guessed this was the top 3. The Broncos, the Patriots, and the Jaguars. Never would have guessed that in the beginning of the year.
Patriots are just a super well-run team. They brought in Vrabel. They got their quarterback. Like I said earlier with the Jets, and
they've only have 2 wins versus teams above 500 though.
I know, but you can just see it. They're playing well. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Would be my guess. Vrabel coaches that team extremely well. They're tight. They're disciplined. They have a quarterback. The NFL is about coaching and quarterbacks. And
yes, absolutely.
The Jets do not have.
Okay. Let's talk about how we won't see Mahomes, Manning, or Brady this year in the playoffs for the first time since 1998.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Insane. So that means Manning made the first 3 playoffs his first 3 years. Then Brady never missed the playoffs. Besides the 1 year he was hurt, which Manning made it that year. How insane is that to me?
Yeah, well, that's just look. Those 3 are 3 of the best players of all time at their position. Mahomes is going to be back next year. I would expect the Kansas City Chiefs to be competitive again. Coach isn't going anywhere. He just announced it. They're going to move on from Kelsey. Mahomes is going to be healthy. They still have a very strong roster.
Their offensive line is a disaster, though.
Yeah, I would look for the KC Chiefs to bounce back. How about the fact they're going to have a new stadium in Missouri?
Are they going to go by Kansas Chiefs, or I think they're going to keep KC?
That surprised the heck out of me. I had no idea.
I think they're going to keep that name, Kansas City Chiefs. But
their stadium. Let's continue with the predictions.
So do you think the Ravens sneak? Do you think? Well, the Ravens are in a scenario where they have to get in, and they play the Packers actually 8:00 tonight with a backup quarterback.
The Ravens are not going to get in.
Yes.
And I think that there's an outside chance, you heard this here first, potentially, Lamar Jackson is a New York Jet next year.
Listen, I get it. You really want a quarterback, man. You really want a quarterback and a head coach that can work.
Jets have draft picks. He's what is he only?
You really want to trade all your draft picks, though?
Not all of them. I'm just telling you, a first and a second, maybe for Lamar Jackson. Let's give it a shot.
Why not?
I
think their main priority is their defense right now. Fixing that maybe first, and then worry about.
All right, fair. Forget I ever said that about Lamar Jackson.
The Ravens have to get in; they have to win out, and the Steelers have to lose out. That's how it works. Another thing, how about Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement? I've mentioned this. I am still insane how he has 11 kids and he's managing to play in the NFL right now.
I could not believe it. He did okay, right? He wasn't horrible.
I think he's been what the Colts needed. He's been totally fine.
But they're done, right?
They started 7-1 and they've lost 7 of the last 8.
Yeah.
And their only way to getting in as well as the Ravens, they need the Texans to lose today. And they win, and I'll set up a win and you're in scenario.
Obviously, it'd be a lot of fun if somehow they could sneak in and Phillip Rivers could make a run in the playoffs. Everybody would be watching it. I don't think it happens. But the fact that he came back after 4 or 5 years being retired in his mid-40s,
insane.
It's insane. It's been one of the few things that I enjoyed watching.
Well, now he's not eligible to go in the Hall of Fame for the next
because
4 years.
He's got to start over.
That's such a terrible rule, in my opinion.
I would agree. Let's just see what happens. I don't think they get in this year. I think he goes back into retirement.
It was worth a shot, though, if you're going to ask me. The Colts.
Well, they're a desperate team. They're on a very once Daniel Jones went down, it's just absolute horror show.
I think that's pretty much it. We covered everything, really.
Listen, the important thing for us to focus on right now, Dom, is exactly 2 hours and 2 minutes from now, the puck drops at UBS Arena. We both predicted at the beginning of this podcast a 6-2 Islander win. Let's just get that done, and then we can follow up on our next podcast if you'll ever have me back. Thank you again for having me. And
what did you call this podcast name? You wanted to rename it Deshawnee and Dom?
I was going to put your name first. We call it Dom Sean.
Dom Sean.
But it's your podcast. I'm a guest. Thank you very much for having me again. And
it's an honor actually to have you always on this podcast, and thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much to everyone who watched this episode of DomsPod. Like always, my friends, stay legendary, and thank you for tuning in.
Happy New Year.